Well, thanks a lot for staying with us here on Sunrise Live on Eon this Hope Day Wednesday. Really a story that will inspire you, as it already has begun inspiring me. Speaking about Paralympian gold medalist Samkelo Radebe has been admitted as the attorney of the High Court of South Africa. Samkelo Radebe lost both his hands after playing with wire next to an electricity pylon at the age of 9, I believe it was. As usual, every Hope Day Wednesday here on Sunrise as well as on ETV, we honor those individuals really that have managed to turn their tests into testimonies in the hope that you will also find relevance and identity through some of their stories. This morning we get to share Samkelo's story, and I remember to be part of our discussion by simply leaving your comments on our Facebook as well as on our Twitter pages. Such an absolute honor to have you join us in the studio, and congratulations for being admitted into the High Court.
Thank you for having me, and I mean, it's been a while, coming, and finally I think I've made it to the High Court, and I can officially say that I'm an adult now.
You're an attorney of the High Court. Not even just an adult, an attorney of the High Court. Yeah. But you know what is amazing about your story is, because we're even having this conversation off air, is that you were born with hands, right? So you were born with limbs. And how, let's take us back to when you were 9 and you lost them. What happened?
So I mean, that was 18 years ago,
yeah.
And I was quite lucky enough to have my older brother with me. So it was my brother and a couple of my friends. So the idea of the game was that we're gonna take coiled wires from burnt tires. Like in the township, you burn tires and just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
So there were those coiled wires left, and the idea of the game was we take those and we throw them over electric cables. So when I was throwing...
So you take the cold wire and then you throw it over the cable?
Over electric cables. And then if you throw it over, you win, because I've always been competitive, so I win everything.
Oh, it's about winning.
Yeah, no, you win, So my wires got stuck on the electric cables and they uncoiled downwards.
Yes.
And they were actually quite low enough for me to pull down for the next person to throw.
Yes.
And I got electrocuted by 11,000 volts of electricity as a result. So thankfully, because now every idiot decided to run home. Everyone scattered and they ran home.
Nobody stayed with you?
Nobody stayed with me. Everyone ran home. So if my brother wasn't there, I don't know who was going to run home for me. So I was quite lucky that he was there. He ran home and then he got help from the neighbors, and then my mom was there, who was obviously quite useless at the scene because she was not helpful. She was being a mom about it, losing her mind.
Hands up on the above her head.
Yeah.
So African mother. I know.
Yeah. So then the neighbors helped and they got me to hospital, and I think I woke up a couple of days later, and I also got electrocuted a day before my final exam. So when I woke up, I think on Wednesday, I was like, hey, I'm writing this morning.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you're not writing anything, Mchana. You're staying here. I'm like, where am I? And they told me, no, you're in hospital. And I figured maybe I got hit by a car or a bus or something. And then they told me you got electrocuted, which didn't make sense. But, I mean, I had to accept that.
Yeah.
And, then I was there for 9 months.
You were in hospital for 9 months?
For 9 months.
Yeah. I want to stop you there because I want us to go straight into that story as well. But I want to remind our viewers that please feel free to give us a call. If you've got any questions to ask for Samkelo, as well as Sunrise, make sure that you give us a call, 011 447 1742 or 2570, or 11447 1742 or 2570. We really want to hear from you this morning. So yes, you spent 9 months in hospital.
Yeah.
Then
so
what?
That's a long time. I mean, can you imagine?
That's a long time for a 9-year-old kid.
Yeah, and if, let's say, I had a girlfriend who was pregnant.
You were dumped.
When I get out of hospital, there's a baby.
And then you don't even know. You technically don't even know how it happened. Yeah, because it happened 9 months ago. So then what happened?
Yeah, so then when I got out, I went to a disabled school, which, I mean, quickly made me realize that there were people who were actually far worse than me. So that also made it much easier for me to basically get past, what happened to me, because you can't just get over it. I can't get over the fact that
you can't get over it, but you can get past it.
I mean, I wake up every morning and I see I don't have hands. I can't get over that. It's there. It's with me forever, but I can get past it. I can move past it. It's behind me.
Yeah.
So it made it easy for me to just get past it, and I went back I had to repeat grade 4, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
I know.
But now you're an attorney at the High Court, so I don't think your colleagues or even your peers remember. I'm just saying,
I
like,
do.
no,
I didn't
don't
get past that one because I'm like, Mara was clever.
you
Why
better.
didn't you? Yeah, I worked so hard, man.
I know.
You know, but yeah, I then, you know, continued doing sports and,
you continued doing sports,
I continued. I've always been a sports person before that. So that's the thing. When I was in hospital, I couldn't wait to get out of there. You know, like we had a psychologist who was trying to help me deal with what happened to me, and it only turned out to be a waste of my time.
Why?
Because I was 9. I didn't have any deep-rooted feelings about what happened to me. I was young. I felt better every day. I was better than yesterday. So I was less concerned about what happened to me, but I was just looking forward to getting out. You know, I could, you know, come back when my parents come in. I'm like, look, Mom, I'm able to hold a cup today. You know, now I'm able to drink. You know, I'm more excited because I'm learning new things. Yeah. But the psychologist is like, so tell me about your feelings.
Let's find out about your deep-rooted childhood traumas.
Yeah, so tell us, what are you feeling? And I'm like, I'm happy. You know, it's like,
no,
not that one.
Feeling that.
The ones. How do you feel about not having hands? I'm like, no, I don't have them. But then I'm learning how to write as well. You know, I'm quite excited. It's like, no. How do you really feel? I'm like, I'm so happy. I can't wait to get out of there. So I had 2 sessions and they were like, you know what, just
we give up on you.
Get out.
Yeah.
So they had to deal with my family because they were a lot more traumatized than I was. So I had to be a motivation and carry them through as well to show them that it is okay. As long as I'm still alive, it's still me.
Sure, that is such a powerful message. And of course, so we're still continuing with this conversation. Samkelo joins us in studio this morning. I believe that we've got a caller on the line. Velapi, you're calling in from Gauteng. Good morning to you, Velapi.
Yes, how are you?
Very well, thanks, Indu. Go ahead.
Yes.
What is your question or your comment?
Good morning, how are you? I'm fine.
Okay, Velapi, I believe that, I think your TV is on, so what you're doing is that you're hearing me through the television screen instead of hearing me over the phone. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put you back, just turn off your television set, because otherwise we're going to have a bit of a mix-up and we're not going to be able to get your points across. Hi, we're going to put you back, and then you're going to just switch off your television, then we can continue with this conversation there. But please, just a reminder, if you want to phone into our show, please do so, but make sure that you've got your television set turned off. Is that TV off, Velapi? Hello?
Yes, my TV is off.
Fantastic. Go ahead. What's your question or your comment?
My comment is just that I want to commend Samkelo for not giving up. In fact, I had an opportunity to cross-pad with him at the National Netball Disability Sports. So he's very an inspiration. So my question is this: how did you do it, Samkelo? When all odds were against you, how did you get the edge to go on and never give up?
Good question there, Velapi. Thank you so much for that one. How did you do it? You're telling me you're a 9-year-old kid, you just wanted to get out of the hospital, but a 9-year-old kid grows up and the 9-year-old kid turns 12, 13. The 9-year-old kid wants to date. The 9-year-old kid wants to have a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How do you get past that, and how do you not give up in those tough times?
So here's the thing. What I lost was my hands and not my brains. I never lost my will to live. I never lost the heart, the spirit, and the soul. That remains and it's still intact. It never changed when I lost my hands. I just happened to lose hands, and that's it. So everything else that I would have been with hands still remains in me.
Come on. Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm making sense,
oh, no,
but
you're making perfect
you know,
sense.
I wasn't an entirely new person when I lost my hands. It's still me. I've always been like this with hands, and I've remained. I've probably even gotten better, you know, over time. You know, and you know, like I say, it's just the will to live, the will to be the best that you can be. I've always had that, and it's something that continued with me. I didn't have to dig deep to try and find it because it's always been with me.
Yeah, you don't lose who you are. Veronica, calling in from Johannesburg. Hello, Veronica. Okay, we seem to have lost Veronica there. We'll try to get you back, and you can put your comments through. And then you went on to become a Paralympian gold medalist. A gold. You couldn't even settle for silver or for bronze. Clearly, you're very competitive. You had to go for gold. Tell us about that.
Look, I mean, this thing started, ages ago. You know, I started competing in 2003 at national championships. And then
this is athletics.
This is athletics,
yeah.
You know. And then I met my role model in athletics, which was Oscar Pistorius, who told me, "Look, I've seen you run. You're quite fast. If you work hard at it, you'll be at the same level as me." You know, and I was like, "Oh my word, I want to be at the same level as you."
Yeah.
And I promise you, from then onwards, you know, I made sure that I train even harder, and I started setting goals for Paralympics because I wanted to be at the same level as he was. You know, so I looked up to him. But I got to a point where I was now competing with him, and I was at the same level as him. Just not the money side, but like, you know, the level was there. you know. And
oh, you're going to start another conversation now in studio.
No,
Come
but
on,
that's
we're
the
not
thing.
on the
I
money
mean,
side, but you're on the
no,
same
no,
level as him in terms of competitive.
competition,
Yeah.
you know, because
yeah.
I mean, you also want to do it because you can see how well off some people are, but that's just their own path. You know, mine was, I'm just going to be on that level, just without the money.
Yeah.
Most people, anyway.
So are you going to go to Rio this year?
No, I'm not going to go to Rio. I did articles for the last 2 years, so...
so now you're at the High Court. You've got a different kind of race to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
making sure that justice is
there's,
served.
There's no Rio for me, but I'll be watching it, you know.
Oh, well, that's
and
good enough.
you know, I still want to do some other things in sports. I also presented a sports show, so there's so many things I will do that will keep me in sports.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, I want us to talk about your education, becoming an attorney. I've got so few minutes. I've got so many questions to ask you.
Ish.
How did you do it? How did you go from shucks, I don't have hands, I'm 9, I've recovered, I'm in a school for children living with disabilities, and how did you get here? How did you get to becoming an attorney at the High Court?
I mean, now remember, Uti, first I'm Samkelo, and then later I just happened to be disabled. You know, so I don't really want to label myself as being black and disabled. I am who I am first, and then there's all these ancillary things that follow afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, a lot of the times people place emphasis on the fact that, wow, you're so disabled and you did so well. No, I did so well because I'm me, but I just don't have hands. You know, and a lot of the times I believe that we need to, you know, view things that way as people. You know, there's no point in bragging about being, I'm the first black disabled attorney to do well. Who am I competing against?
Yeah.
So I'm competing against
It's
other
almost like
attorneys.
we keep you in a victim position.
Exactly.
So we always are, oh my gosh, we need to always feel some form of sympathy, not even empathy towards some guy because he's black and is disabled. So we never take you from victim to victor.
And the problem is that we always class ourselves low. You know, not to say that black people or disabled people are low, but we are classing ourselves low because we want to be first recognized as being black and disabled before we are who we are.
So in other words, we will settle to driving a vehicle when our potential is to drive a private jet, but simply because we kept ourselves with a low expectation of what we can achieve.
Yeah, this is what disabled people are supposed to achieve.
This
so
is
the
ceiling.
The moment you go to high school, it's like, wow.
You're disabled and you went to high school.
Wow.
Amazing.
No.
Yeah.
Samkelo went to high school.
Yeah.
I just happened to be, you know, disabled.
And black.
And then black as well.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, you know, me being an attorney is something that I did while I was doing athletics. So I had to balance being an athlete competing at an international stage and doing my law degree. You know, and when my degree finished, I decided to rather chase, you know, my final qualification, which is being an attorney, as opposed to chasing another gold medal, because even though I have a gold medal, I got very little out of it. So why chase another one and still get very little out of it, whereas I can get a qualification that will sort me out for life?
Yeah.
I'm an attorney now, and I can do so many things, but with a gold medal, I'm quite limited.
Okay, so we've got another caller on the line. We've got somebody calling in from Cape Town. I believe it's Knowledge from Cape Town. Hello, Knowledge.
Sekunjani?
Ngiyaphila Puti.
Mina ndingiknowledge ngisuke eZimbabwe ne. Ngifuna Cape Town.
Okay, Knowledge.
Ndiyavuya ndiyajabula kakhulu ngendlela ubhukeyo yona. Kunabanye abantu aba-right, everything ba-right, kodwa abakwazi ukuziyenzela. But there are so many ways to kill a cat. So ndiyavuya ubhuti ngendlela iyo yona, ngendlela aphila ngayo. May God bless him forever and ever.
Amen. Thank you for that knowledge. Amen.
Okay.
You know what I love about knowledge? Knowledge is African.
Yeah.
So he's a Zimbabwean who's speaking fluent Xhosa, living in the Western Cape.
And just happens to be from...
Yeah. Zimbabwe. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I read something very interesting yesterday from Uvus Tembekwayo, who said that we shouldn't be excited about having black businesses. You have a business. And
You are black.
You know, you're a business person.
Yeah.
But now if you want to have black businesses...
You're classing yourself.
You're classing yourself with, you know, I'm black and I have a... No.
So it's basically like saying that I'm a female entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Why are you doing...
No,
you are an entrepreneur first,
and
then you happen to be female. Come on. So, of course, every Hope Day Wednesday, you know...
So, I know you mentioned Indaba Yokjola as well.
Oh, yes, because I'm interested in it. Hit me up with the headlines. What's going on?
I'm a guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a guy.
So how do you
I'm going to go after
Yeah.
women like all guys do.
Uh-huh.
I just happen to not have hands, but I don't care.
Yes. Well, you've got a brain, you've got everything else that works.
Because that's the thing. This is what works. I mean,
and
men who control women.
And I will be honest. I will be honest that it's about your mind and how if you can stimulate a woman and a mind and everything
I like
else,
that word, stimulate.
Then you've got like you see, I'm blushing already. I'm already blushing because you got me now. You got me. So it's a very interesting space. But very quickly, before we wrap up, how do you motivate somebody who's really going through a hard time right now and feel as though there is no way out?
Hey, look, there's always a way out.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a way out. And I think that whatever situation you find yourself in, you know, if you have a vision, you know, you just need to have a clear vision. It doesn't matter what gets in your way.
Yeah.
You always keep your eyes on your vision. You know, so it might be a very difficult situation, but if you can see that the light at the end of the tunnel and believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel, it doesn't matter what you're going to go through, you will find your way around it, no maganjan.
And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, speaking to Samkelo Radebe this morning, Paralympian gold medalist. He won 10 medals, I must add. He won 10 medals, gold medals, recently appointed as the attorney of the High Court of South Africa. Keep those conversations going. Remember, we are available on Facebook as well as on Twitter. Do stay with us here on Sunrise because shortly after the break, we're going to hand you over to Mark Chase, who's standing by to give us the latest in the news.